There's no doubt that Charlie Kirk was a leader. Through the way that he spoke to people, the way that he brought people together, he knew what it meant to lead. Now, this is not a debate of whether you believed in his political views or not, but rather to look at how Charlie Kirk led people, how he brought people together, because he was able to create a transformation in millions of people's lives because of his death. Because of the tragic events of this last week, he was able to create a movement that all was foundational to the way that he led in his life. So we're going to look at the 4 qualities that Charlie Kirk had in his leadership style in order to be able to create such a massive impact. First, he wasn't afraid of the opposition. When a leader stands up for truth, that means that there's going to be somebody who opposes those views. And he was not afraid to give a microphone to somebody who believed differently than he does. When we give the opposition time to speak, it allows us the ability to stand up as leaders for something that we believe is true. Charlie Kirk was so good at giving the opposition time to speak. Not only did he give them time to speak, but the second thing that he did was he empowered this other side. He gave them the opportunity to voice their opinion and then be able to have a dialogue about what is truth, what was right, what was wrong, and help them be able to come to be able to see something that was different. And he didn't always do it in a way that put other people down, but allowed them to be able to see what it is. So often as leaders, we believe that we hold an authority. And that means anybody who believes opposite or us or something different than we do, it's part of our authority to shut them down, to silence them, especially with everything in cancel culture and things that have been happening in our society. It is become the norm that we silence our opposition. But Charlie Kirk didn't do that. He empowered other people to be able to voice their opinion, encourage them to have a dialogue, and he was open and respectful of the words that they had. Though he disagreed, he gave them the mic and allowed them to be able to speak. He encouraged people through his campaign of Prove Me Wrong, where people would come up to his tent and they would have these debates and these dialogues because he wanted them to know that they have power in their voice, whether he believes the same as him or not. You have power in your voice, but don't use your authority to shut other people down. Empower them. The next thing that he did was he always maintained alignment with his values. Though people disagreed with him and there was often heated dialogue that happened at his events, he maintained alignment with his values. He knew what he believed about marriage. He knew what he believed about economics and business and the way that the country was moving. And he maintained that alignment through everything he said. He stood strong for those things and allowed that alignment to take place in those debates where he took those words and allowed that to create change. Now, the last one, and probably the most important, is that we understand that Charlie Kirk was not a leader. Rather, he was a follower. True leaders understand that we don't bring people in because of what we do. Rather, we show people how to find answers. We show people where to go to identify truth. When we identify that truth, the truth that's within us, the truth that is around us, it helps us be able to lead them to a place where they can find their own answers, where they can look for those things that are going to continue to guide them. Charlie Kirk was always reading Bible verses and leading people back to the Bible because he understood he was not the leader. He was the voice, but he was the follower. This is the most important quality that we can have in leadership, is understand that I am a leader. I take risks because I'm in the place where I can stand in confidence that I know who is leading me. I know that I'm in alignment with the person that I am meant to be, doing the things that the Lord would have me do. And it is in this leadership that we're able to see that true leaders are actually followers. Now, his wife said it perfectly in Charlie Kirk's memorial service. She said,
"A man who leads so that they can serve." To all the men watching around the world, accept Charlie's challenge and embrace true manhood. Be strong and courageous for your families. Love your wives and lead them. Love your children and protect them. Be the spiritual head of your home. But please be a leader worth following.
This beautiful advice from Erica Kirk helps us see that leadership happens not only in your business, not only in your professional life, but also in your families, in your relationships, in everything. Do you know what it's like to lead in a way that you can guide people to service, guide them to the truth? So my challenge for you today is to stop leading and learn what it means to follow like Charlie Kirk.